never let it go. 'Cause this grief's the last piece of you I get to keep. It's the tremble in my voice when I try to speak. It's the tears I hide in the grocery line, the way your name still rewinds time. The world keeps turning but I stay here, holding on to every shattered souvenir. This grief, it cuts but it's true. It's the last piece of you.
Get ready to dive in, listener. This is Chris Turner.
I'm not entirely happy with this. Bandito Breakout. New sound, new blood. Only on Bandito Radio 112 FM.
Boom! Like a bass drum in a thunderstorm, we are back, baby. This is Bandito Radio 112 FM. We are blazing, blasting, and breaking boundaries with every beat, baby. You didn't just stumble onto a station. You are locked onto a vibe, a lifestyle, a loud living legacy, and your home for the restless and the creative. So buckle in, light it up, and let loose. This ride is built for the bold, the loud, and the true rockin' rebels. I am Howlin' Jim Jackson, your host, your brother in distortion and deliverance, your guide through this wild soundscape, where every riff hits like lightning, every lyric burns like a branding iron. We are locked, loaded, and louder than ever with bangers that blister, ballads that bleed, and breakbeats that'll leave you breathless. This one's for the creative collectors, the limitless lens snappers, and the truth-telling track makers who live loud and love louder. And you know, my lively, lovely, loyal listeners, that we've got another full clip of fully loaded rockin' rebel rousels for your motivation. And we're doing something a little different, baby. Some might even say we're trying to be a little creative. We're taking this station and playing all these tracks live streaming, baby, 24/7. At least that's what we're trying to do. So wherever you listen, whether it be on Podbean, iHeartRadio, YouTube, wherever you listen to 112 FM, baby, we're gonna keep playing these awesome indie tracks 24 hours a day. And who knows, maybe yours truly will hop on it every once in a while. So check it out wherever you listen, and whether you're lost in lyrics, building beats, or living loud, you know that Bandito Radio 112 FM has your back and your bandwidth. So let's kick it off, baby, shall we? Turn it up! Ow!
Slide about my carcass and fill it up with lukewarm pride. Me see us ain't that social. All the hearts I had just died. Been told there was some bootstraps. What? How supposed to pull? I've never been much one for farming, but even I know that shit's bull. I can't pay. I got tenant to bowl. I can't pay. I got tenant to bowl. But there's a hole in my bucket, so the soup just drowned my feet. Every time I go to order, all the wall wanna do is beef. Lord lands put feet up, fat cats they only grow. I can't pay, I got tenant elbow, and the lost my shadows far behind me, looking for some place to hide. My lunch it's high blood pressure with a side of cold pink eye. Things are looking up now. The better winds done start to blow. My teeth big taste so funky. Oh shit, that's asbestos. Until the funk can't save me now. I hit the club floor with my gown. Get on down. Until the funk can't save me now. I hit the club floor with my gown. Get on down.
This is David Varner. You're listening to Bandito Radio. They play all the hits. This is David Varner. You're listening to Bandito Radio for the culture.
This ain't your algorithms playlist. It's Bandito Breakout, where new artists bring the heat and fresh drops get their first spin. If it's raw, real, and ready to erupt, you'll hear it here first. Bandito Radio 112 FM. We don't follow trends, we break them.
This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, and you are listening to 112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Follow the example of millions, and at the first sign of a cold, take
Bandito Radio. You are tuned in to 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio.
Your body next to mine. I sing this just one more time. I love when you blow my mind. Top pink flag on them. Write my city on the gang, make them gag on it. Oh, how I'm coming, how you talking, put a bag on it. It's the pop and take a picture with no tags on it. Man, woman, want to know how I'm creeping. Dear baby, what was we thinking? But when you left, I felt I was sinking. I've been drinking, stop me from dreaming. Your body next to mine. I sing this just one more time. Say, I love when you blow my mind.
Well, hello, listener. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow! Hello, outlaws and outlawettes. You are listening to Howlin' Jim, and you are on 112 FM. Band. Boom! Like a bass drum in a thunderstorm, we are back, baby. This is Bandito Radio, 112 FM. We are blazing, blasting, and breaking boundaries with every beat, baby. You didn't just stumble onto a station. You are locked onto a vibe, a lifestyle, a loud living legacy, and your home for the restless and the creative. So buckle in, light it up, and let loose. This ride is built for the bold, the loud, and the true rockin' rebels. I am Howlin' Jim Jackson, your host, your brother in distortion and deliverance, your guide through this wild soundscape, where every riff hits like lightning, every lyric burns like a branding iron. We are locked, loaded, and louder than ever with bangers that blister, ballads that bleed, and breakbeats that'll leave you breathless. This one's for the creative collectors, the limitless lens snappers, and the truth-telling track makers who live loud and love louder. And you know, my lively, lovely, loyal listeners, that we've got another full clip of fully loaded rockin' rebel rousals for your motivation. And we're doing something a little different, baby. Some might even say we're trying to be a little creative. We're taking this station and playing all these tracks live streaming, baby, 24/7. At least that's what we're trying to do. So wherever you listen, whether it be on Podbean, iHeartRadio, YouTube, wherever you listen to 112 FM, baby, we're gonna keep playing these awesome indie tracks 24 hours a day. And who knows, maybe yours truly will hop on it every once in a while. So check it out wherever you listen, and whether you're lost in lyrics, building beats, or living loud, you know that Bandito Radio 112 FM has your back and your bandwidth. So let's kick it off, baby, shall we? Turn it up! Ow!
All right, come on, hit it. Let's make time.
Get the radio on.
Just warming up.
This is David Vaughn. You're listening to Bandito Radio for the culture.
Go on, talk to the people who said we'd fall apart, who planted those seeds deep in your heart. Go on, hang with your friends, the ones who lied, jealous of love they couldn't find. Go on, girl, take their side, but don't come back with tears in your eyes. Don't miss me when you see the truth. Don't miss me, darling, 'cause I'm already gone. Go on, talk to those other guys, the ones I feared, the ones you said were just friends, crystal clear. But soon enough you'll feel that sting, when their words don't mean a single thing. You look around and realize you threw away a love that could have survived. Don't miss me when you see the truth, when those guys in your phone stop calling you, when the nights get cold and you're all alone. Don't miss me, darling, 'cause I'm already gone. Blame me, say it's my fault, but your choices led to this free fall. Don't text me, don't say my name. You lit the match, now you feel the flame. You look around and realize you threw away a love that could have survived. Don't miss me when you see the truth, when those guys in your phone stop calling you, when the nights get cold and you're all alone. Don't miss me, darling, 'cause I'm already gone. Don't text me again, don't call my name. You made your choice, now live with the pain. Don't miss me, 'cause I'm already gone.
Only in the Comic Weekly can you enjoy the good, clean fun of
Bandito Radio.
Yeah, I'm the editor-in-chief, I take pictures too. I edit frames to let my black eyes capture the proof. Toy photography, a hobby, now a part of me. Digital darkroom, Photoshop, psychology. Epic toy sound, my action figures move with rhythm. Practical effects for the snobs and they feelings. Imagination is just that, imagination. The tools that I create with shouldn't define what I'm making. This art shit is sacred, it's the egos that are basic. Gatekeepers always think they're Neo in the Matrix. Feeling that feeling while feeling this feeling is so revealing. I just discovered another way I could kill them. Combine both loves, these bars with plastic therapy. Y'all hearing me? It's live symmetry. Cypher with a Groupon for free toy deliveries. Maximize my effort, I be working while you still asleep. Counting them Z's while I'm conquering these beats. Another masterpiece released once the frame has reached its peak. I know my angles between the margin organicus. A gritty novelist with gladiator common sense. I'm the editor-in-chief, I take pictures too. I edit frames to let my black eyes capture the proof. Toy photography, a hobby, now a part of me. Digital darkroom, Photoshop, psychology. I'm the editor-in-chief, I take pictures too. I edit frames to let my black eyes capture the proof. Toy photography, a hobby, now a part of me. Digital darkroom, Photoshop, psychology. Freedom or death to the last of my breath. I guarantee what I create in between will stay fresh. I do more with less, this talent is authentic. Homegrown, represented by glitches within edits. From Shotcut to Pixar Pro, clinging to AI. May I? Don't mind if I do, it's a chill vibe. I switch styles, I keep many in pocket. Y'all some one-trick ponies in closets, I got options. The plot thickens when you listening to wisdom, so I suggest you chill before the tea starts spilling. Label me a villain if your hero picking sides. Community is where I stand, fuck a divide.
me grinding. High time and keep me kosher, cause I blows the fuck down. Also catch me at the other club, flipping pound for pound. Now my sound is all static, addict, love the good up. Hence me dreaming fat sex of the shrewd of blue. Game's cold like an icebox. Catch a nigga default sideways like I said, my app filled with hog. Raw dogging was the 80s, 90s, struck the fuck up. Fetty catch a nigga running, sweating all black. Truck my pump ready if the leady, heavy scale in the wall. Love to keep a bad bitch, a finger all in them drawers. So take a pause and smell a swish and mist and keeping them fresh. I throw my money in the shoebox, racked up in the dress, up a bleezy breezy all on my nutsack. Rasta man flipping pigeons downtown in a backpack. That's that when the game says to be continued. Add 2 quarters to your life just to sign the menu. Beat a bruh up, sneaky stuff like tense. You hit them low, throw up below the belt on my tennis shoe. Finish you, then I laugh, curve stomping the boss man. Cuddy half a bag, cause all that's left is a toe tag. Low sag with the drag, limp noise, the white man. Cold drag is when I'm trying to find a roll. The white says hype man, like a nigga gone dumb in the O. Pistol gripper acting funny's what I love to stroke. Spoken soft when I'm stoned like the passion of Christ. My boy silly with the willy dilly floating on ice. Got dice like Grace Babe scuffed to hell. Catch a nigga feeling like Devin, man, I'm quick to inhale. Clientele, hella proper off a trilogy. Beak off the stunners with no lensos in those, you can't see me, no. Guess you can call me the baker's man. Break bread, a fake dead is a master plan. Whole sand in my bag just to keep the weight. I hang around the scope just to catch the quake. Fake jakes in my face, always acting funny. Smiling like just a G to beat them down for the money. No sunny, no share, man, I'm miking them. Ankle fucking breaking them, man, I'm psyching them. Mike Tyson them, no ice in them. Wild eye, nice slice, man, I'm dicing them. Catch me cold hard cash like a nice pick, or catch me hot blazing light with a nice stick. So sick like a German, I'm worming through. Catch a nigga stealth mode in the back of your crew. What do you do when you find out that you're under the weather? Pinch a blunt from T-Zo, I bet your switch blow better, bitch.
This is David Vonner. You're listening to Bandito Radio. They play all the hits. This is David Vonner, and I'm here chilling with my man Howlin' Jim Jackson on Bandito Radio. Let's go!
This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, and you are listening to 112 FM.
This is David Vonner. When I'm drawing, or reading comic books, or posing on my action figures, I'm listening to Bandito Radio.
Bandito Breakout. New sound, new blood. Only on Bandito Radio 112 FM.
You are tuned in to 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio.
Et ouais, c'est pas mal.
C'est de temps en temps.
Moi, j'habite dans le 2e arrondissement.
C'est pas long. Tu viens te chercher avec la BM direct.
Pourquoi t'as une BM?
T'aimerais avoir quoi comme voiture?
Bah, je sais pas conduire.
kill somebody. Don't you mind, don't you mind? Now what a play in the middle of the night. Don't you mind? I nearly killed somebody. Don't you mind, don't you mind? Does he ever get the crown?
I really hate I had to leave you in the middle of the night, but we always knew it was a one-way flight. Heat around the corner and I'm never coming back. You could come with me, but you gotta tell me fast. Yeah, the plane is running, left the danger zone, now it's on to Spain or something. Yeah, we ain't get a chance to change to something new. Who knows what this world will take us to? But we gotta go right now, living in and out of hotels. But it's better than a grindhouse, safer than the streets and it's warmer than a cold cell. Leaving on a jet plane, ain't hopping on our coattails. Fitting me a villain and I played the part so well. Had the crowd cheering so they fitted me with more shells. Hero gotta die in the end cause that's an old tale. Dying in her arms is the only way I have it. It's a love story, but I said that it was tragic. Winter rose turning into summertime sadness. This is Jack and Rose when they rode the Titanic. Hit an iceberg and the crowd in the panic. Ripped off my chain and got us lost in the static. Pulled me to my feet, now I'm slipping through the back. Trying to keep it moving, but I'm dripping through my vest. Told her, baby, stop, this as far as I'ma get. Wanna keep it going, but I can't catch my breath. If I really can't, never say nothing else. This the best way I ever could've killed myself.
Now what a play in the middle of the night. Don't you mind? I nearly killed somebody. Don't you mind, don't you mind? Now what a play in the middle of the night. Don't you mind? I nearly killed somebody. Don't you mind, don't you mind?
Yet another great jam by Noel.
This ain't your algorithms playlist. It's Bandito Breakout, where new artists bring the heat and fresh drops get their first spin. If it's raw, real, and ready to erupt, you'll hear it here first. Bandito Radio 112 FM. We don't follow trends, we break them.
Follow the example of millions, and at the first sign of a cold, take
Bandito Radio.
Don't miss Bandito Breakout. New music hits daily at 12 p.m. Pacific, only on Bandito Radio 112 FM.
From the outside looking in.
This is David Vonner. You're locked into Bandito Radio with Culture Ride Shotgun.
Well, hello, listener. Why don't you turn it back up for this one from Stereo Flowers?
Sometimes it's all over, but that time ain't tonight. The world's full of empires, pride, rise, great and blind.
You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow!
I don't want that deep of data, only want that deep of data. When you're asleep. I don't want that deep of data, we don't want that deep of data. Just come you to free. I don't want that deep of data, only want that deep of data. There is no security. I don't want that deep of data. All the deep of data, they gave the numbers right. They kill us for my mother's while they made it woman's space. We own the data, we have the right. We do everything, we do sleep at night. I don't want the deeds of data, only want the deeds of data. I know when you're asleep. I don't want the deeds of data, we don't want the deeds of data. No skills and more routine. I don't want the deeds of data, only want the deeds of data. There is no security. I don't want the deeds of data. All the deeds of data, they keep the numbers straight. They kill the violent matters while they blame it quantum space. We own the data, we have the right. We do everything, while you sleep at night. Not to find great, they use it against you. Keeping track of where you've been and monitoring where you are. You want a medal for not to see the data in your head. You are a number of citizens that may never know. You never say, you never say. Deeds of data. You never say, you never say. We know where you are.
Well, hello, listener. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow!
The Sunday service, I need more anointment. This pain goes deeper than flesh. Yeah, I'm wishing crazy, lazy and busy. I'm working all just to rest. I need money, it's all that I see. How deep can your love really be? She says, money, it's all that I need. And love from somebody else. Yeah. Oh, oh, now that you know how deep can your love really be? Yeah. Oh, oh, now that you know how deep can you bury me? Let's see, let's see. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Let's see, let's see. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Let's see, let's see. I see the whispers across the room. The hallway leads to you down the stairs. Yeah, sex and candy throughout the air. I see you in easy and look to see if I care. I don't care, cause my mind is tripping, I'm tripping right. I don't care how you get home tonight. She said I hope that you fucking die. Still I don't care how you get home tonight. Cause my mind is tripping, I'm tripping right. I don't care how you get home tonight. Keep playing the victim, you play it nice. Still I don't care how you get home tonight. Oh, oh, now that you know how deep can your love really be? Yeah, oh, oh, now that you know how deep can you bury me? Let's see, let's see. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Let's see, let's see. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Crossing my chain and protect my neck. Let's see, let's see.
Love's a teacher, it'll show you the way. But but it don't promise easy, come what may. Like a child reaching out to touch a flame. Even when they're warm, they play the same game. Oh, I'll be there holding her tight through the darkest hours, through the coldest night. But I gotta know she's strong enough to ride out the storm when the waters get rough. Life don't ask if you're ready or not. It'll test your will, it'll take your shot. But I'll stand beside her through thick and thin, with a steady hand and a heart to win. Oh, I'll be there holding her tight through the darkest hours, through the coldest night. But I gotta know she's strong enough to ride out the storm when the waters get rough. Love's a wild river, it'll cut you deep, through the highs and lows, through the pain we keep. But we hold on tight, we don't let it go, 'cause the strongest love is the one we grow. I'll be there holding her tight through the darkest hours, through the coldest night. But I gotta know she's strong enough to ride out the storm when the waters get rough. So here's to the lessons, the ones that burn. Every scar's a page, every tear we earn. In a world full of heartache and skies that turn gray, love still shines at the end of the day.
You are tuned in to 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio.
Follow the example of millions, and at the first sign of a cold, take
Bandito Radio.
Chef, I'm crazy.
Take a trip and get away, way. I think we burning daylight. Let's take a trip and get away, way. I think we burning daylight. Let me take you through the bay. But I think we running out of time. Sundown, I'm sitting all alone and thinking how I can focus on the love I'm seeing. Maybe I could be a little more convincing. No more mistakes, I gotta face my fate. Sun up, don't wanna think about you leaving, and I don't really wanna be the reason. Crazy, flipping back and forth just like the seasons. No more mistakes, I gotta face my fate.
Te he dato una noche más, te doy motivo para viajar. Te compro más ropa, pero total te la voy a quitar, eres un ten. Me caes bien, gasto otros 100. Ay, bella que joven, chica ven, y tú eres mi amén. En crucero, en avión, con el tren.
I think we burning daylight. Let me take you through the bay. But I think we running out of time. Lately the days been going by. just for the night. The one, you're the one, only one,
Nos pasa por lado el tiempo, son tiempos que no vuelven. Desde que te conozco, así lo de este jueves. Me vengo, tú te vienes. Inmertando como un loco con ganas de volverte a ver.
I think we're running daylight. Let me take you to the bay. But I think we're running out of time.
This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, and you are listening to 112 FM, baby.
This ain't your algorithms playlist. It's Bandito Breakout, where new artists bring the heat and fresh drops get their first spin. If it's raw, real, and ready to erupt, you'll hear it here first. Bandito Radio 112 FM. We don't follow trends, we break them.
All right, come on, hit it. Let's make time. Get the radio on. Just warming up.
Hello, outlaws and outlawets. You are listening to Howlin' Jim, and you are on 112 FM. Bang. Boom. Like a bass drum in a thunderstorm, we are back, baby. This is Bandito Radio 112 FM. We are blazing, blasting, and breaking boundaries with every beat, baby. You didn't just stumble onto a station. You are locked onto a vibe, a lifestyle, a loud living legacy, and your home for the restless and the creative. So buckle in, light it up, and let loose. This ride is built for the bold, the loud, and the true rockin' rebels. I am Howlin' Jim Jackson, your host, your brother in distortion and deliverance, your guide through this wild soundscape, where every riff hits like lightning, every lyric burns like a branding iron. We are locked, loaded, and louder than ever with bangers that blister, ballads that bleed, and breakbeats that'll leave you breathless. This one's for the creative collectors, the limitless lens snappers, and the truth-telling track makers who live loud and love louder. And you know, my lively, lovely, loyal listeners, that we've got another full clip of fully loaded rockin' rebel arousals for your motivation. And we're doing something a little different, baby. Some might even say we're trying to be a little creative. We're taking this station and playing all these tracks live streaming, baby, 24/7. At least that's what we're trying to do. So wherever you listen, whether it be on Podbean, iHeartRadio, YouTube, wherever you listen to 112 FM, baby, we're gonna keep playing these awesome indie tracks 24 hours a day. And who knows, maybe yours truly will hop on it every once in a while. So check it out wherever you listen, and whether you're lost in lyrics, building beats, or living loud, you know that Bandito Radio 112 FM has your back and your bandwidth. So let's kick it off, baby, shall we? Turn it up! Ow!
This is David Vonner. When I'm drawing, or reading comic books, or posing on my action figures, I'm listening to Bandito Radio.
Now how about this one from Iron Spires?
Hello, my beautiful people. This is Margot from Iron Spires, and you're listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio.
your intentions true. Your piercing bite cuts deep and tears straight through. You will not take what I hold. I am the steel trap. I will not fall. Darkness sets in. The cold grips tight. I did not fold. I never told. I never told. I never told.
Well, hello, listener. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow!
Only in the Comic Weekly can you enjoy the good, clean fun of
Bandito Radio.
This is David Varner. You're listening to Bandito Radio. They play all the hits. This is David Varner, and I'm here chilling with my man Howlin' Jim Jackson on Bandito Radio. Let's go! This is David Varner. You're listening to Bandito Radio for the culture.
Well, hello, listener. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow!
Don't miss Bandito Breakout. New music hits daily at 12 p.m. Pacific, only on Bandito Radio 112 FM.
From the outside looking in.
This is David Varner. You're locked into Bandito Radio, where culture rides shotgun.
Bandito Breakout. New sound, new blood, only on Bandito Radio 112 FM.
From the outside looking in.
This is David Varner. You're locked into Bandito Radio, where culture rides shotgun.
All right, come on, hit it. Let's make time. Get the radio on. Just warming up.
Bandito Breakout. New sound, new blood, only on Bandito Radio 112 FM. Don't miss Bandito Breakout. New music hits daily at 12 p.m. Pacific, only on Bandito Radio 112 FM.
This is David Varner. When I'm drawing, or reading comic books, or posing on my action figures, I'm listening to Bandito Radio.
Well, hello, listener. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow!
This is David Varner. You're listening to Bandito Radio for the culture.
Get ready to dive in, listener. This is Chris Turner.
I'm not entirely happy with this.
Bandito Radio presents Action Figure Frequencies with your hosts, Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm.
Hey, that's you. You're Alexander Storm. What is up? Hey, everyone. Welcome in. This is Action Figure Frequencies, episode number 26. And there's a little bit of a new format. It's the same crew. We're gonna see how this works out. And if you're here for the first time, welcome in. I am your lovely, gorgeous host, Chet Maddox, along with Alexander Thunderous Storm. How are you doing, sir?
Doing good. And actually, for my friends up in the Great North, Dodgers is about to kick that behind.
That is true. That is true. That is very true, my friend. Well, this is an action-packed Action Figure Frequencies, and we're getting into the indie toy developers and what is going on and why are they beating the main guys. We'll get into that more on Action Figure Frequencies, episode 26.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
And like always, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to Bandito Radio 112 FM. If you are a Shadow Nose member, part of the syndicate, then you are watching this. How's it going? Good to meet you. That's the only place you can find it is if you're a member on the Shadow Nose. Otherwise, we thank you all for listening. However, bills have to get paid, my friend.
Absolutely.
And this episode, this segment of the episode is brought to you by Plastic News.
Absolutely. Chad, have you ever noticed how toy news always hits after it's already sold out?
Yeah, it's like by the time you find out, the scalpers have already eaten lunch and taken desserts.
Well, that's why we built plasticnews.com. It's where collectors go to stay ahead, not play catch up.
Exactly. Real coverage, real-time drops, no clickbait, just the good stuff.
So you can spend less time doom scrolling and more time actually collecting.
Because at plasticnews.com, we put the IQ in new.
Absolutely. And you know what? I got to say, man, you can book it, follow it, live it, man.
That's right. Plasticnews.com, the pulse of pop culture straight from collectors who get it.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Oh, man. Well, we know you guys like them.
Absolutely.
We know you love it, but first and foremost, I would be doing this justice, sir. How are you doing? It has been a quick minute. We've had to take a break for very good reasons.
Well, you know how we do it here.
Yeah. But how are you doing?
Nation, coast to coast. From our toy rooms to your living rooms. Action Figure Frequencies is back on Bandito Radio 112 FM and to the Shadow Nose Network Syndicate. You guys are seeing this as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, Hot Points is one of our favorite segments.
It is.
We enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And this time on Hot Points, we're talking success of the independent toy makers.
Hot points, hot points, hot points, hot points, hot points.
What do you think defines success in for indie creators in today's toy scene? Do you think it's like successful Kickstarters? Do you think it's like, I mean, what do you think it is?
Well, it used to be the success was if you can go into like the Super 7 realm.
Mm-hmm.
If you start a company, no one really knows it. Maybe have some retail spaces, get into a lot of bigger stores. I still think that sets the bar. I think you want to be, obviously you want to be in the realm of Super 7. I think you want to handle business a little better than Super 7 did.
Yeah,
but because I think Super 7 and Funko actually same way. I think they had it lightning in a bottle. I think they grew too quick. And I think they over mortgaged themselves with licensing, and I think that really kind of did it. So but I'm looking at, there's some Kickstarters out there. We've had our good friend Chris Scott over from Grindhouse Toys. That looks like how success is done. Other individuals that we know, Brutal Realms, like a successful Kickstarter, jumps off into a business, Spiro Toys. Four Horsemen, I think, is the catapult of
Sure.
what a small company that became. Because, look, it's, as much as they like to, seem like they're still like really small and independent, they are completely in every possible way, a conglomerate now. Because when you think about the fine toys they're doing and the amount of stuff that they're getting out, the first thing you're like, well, are they really that independent anymore? So I think the way that we measure this now is, do you have a brand that people enjoy? Or are they willing to not purchase from the big brand stores like
Yep.
like the Hasbro, Pulse, and Mattel? And that's the problem of it now. We're starting to see these guys dig into their revenue, and it's starting to be some blowback because you look. I would also put the same thing Valaverse. You have to put Bobby Valla's company up there and successful. He's able to have a brand that competes with his former workplace, Hasbro.
Yeah.
I think this is what it's looking like, man. It's like, when you see that he's doing vehicles, he has the license that people are hungry for when he's at events, is he selling product out, or people enthusiastic about his point? That's the aspect. I think the only thing that's different is Hasbro does like live streams and everything. Some of these smaller companies are still using the independent circuit to promote their stuff instead of having their own live streams and, basically taking it up one notch. But that's what success, to me, that's what success is looking like. If you can get buzz and attention from everyone that's around, and you can constantly keep putting your product out and it continuously grows.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think there's this like I don't want to say misconception. We had one of our like partners and friends on, Carlos from Rise of Nexus. And like while the Kickstarter didn't fund, people would look at that and be like, oh, it's not successful. And it's like, well, that's not true. It didn't fund successfully. I'll give you that. No one's denying that. You can't. But what people don't understand about that whole scenario is business 101 is that in order to get anywhere, if you want like a loan or you want a business license or something, that there's a point in time where you have to prove value or prove that somebody wants it. True. Now, with Carlos and Rise of Nexus, they are great figures, right?
Absolutely.
And with Rise of Nexus, when you look at that, all that happened on that Kickstarter is that Carlos proved that what he had, people wanted.
Exactly.
While it didn't fund, Homeboy raised $43,000. Now he didn't get it. That's how Kickstarter works. Is why it's better than Indiegogo. Yeah. He didn't get it, but he got it. Just think about that. 222 people thought what he had was epic, and they were willing. He was willing to. He was gonna get $43,000. So I think that's also a form of success. And I think
absolutely.
I think you personally, as the creator or the entity making whatever it is, I think where people get mixed up is like, do you define success by yourself? Like, have you defined what success looks like for you and yours, right? Like you're working with the team. Like, do you define what that success is? Like, there is a lot of stuff that we are doing on the back end that is at a really good point, and we have discussed about like this has been successful so far. And on the flip side, we've defined that success prior, and we've actually let projects go. That we're getting ground, that we're getting people like, yeah, this is great, and we were like, let's pause because it's not where we wanted it to be in the time we wanted it to be with the feedback we wanted. So
absolutely.
I think it's definitely there. One thing that I'm curious about success on the indie toy market It's like, what do you think the role? What do you think the role is of the community, and how is indie toy make like how are indie toy makers, right? How are they reshaping the whole like collector landscape?
That's good. Yeah, I think the community does play a different role. I think the one thing that I will give indie creators a little bit more, and you see Hasbro trying to sneak this in. We saw this at San Diego Comic-Con, which we're personally there. We have people that were in panels at New York Comic-Con, and now, you got this weekend's London Comic-Con, and you start to see that, whether it's a G.I. Joe team, the Marvel team, or whoever, is now very open to speak to small creators. They're very open to spend their time and try to build, relationships and formulate things. They're willing to come on, like, not the big guys in the industry shows now, because they got away from building community. And the one thing that the smaller creators have, they have time to speak to community. They have time to actually walk up. They do the same thing. And one person I'll give that does a good job, and he's of the bigger nature, Todd McFarlane there's a reason why people go around and call him Uncle. Because he actually shakes their hands. He spends time. He speaks to creators, big or small, fans, big or small, stops. He has a presentation, and people feel a need to want that. That's what and Todd had to do that in the beginning, because he had to get his product into people's hands. This is what the independent creators are doing, and the community is a very big part. If the community feels like these guys are welcoming, I'm respectful. What did Carlos tell us when he was on Toy Box Chronicles? He said that he listened to the community. He made changes as they go. That's something that we haven't seen Hasbro really have it seemed like they have a reluctance to do. And now that, maybe quarters are not hitting those kind of situations, and, things are going a little different. And you notice there's been some turnover from certain, team members, good or bad. Now all of a sudden they're willing to jump down and do the high lifting, and in every possible way, listen to the fans out there. That's where the community want to feel involved. And one thing that I'll give you, that the reason why I think it's not as involved, and we can go through this several times, is if you look at the situation where it boils down to like Tron, right? I don't think the community was any part, shape, or form indicated about this new 375 initiative Tron HasLab. That's a tone deaf scenario. You've got a brand new movie out, which, look, the movie didn't do good, whether you went to go see it or not. It's not doing well in the box office. But you actually do a 3 3/4 inch line. Why are you doing a 3 1/4 inch? Because wasn't it like less than about a year and a half or two that you gave it to Super 7 and some of these other companies that do 3 3/4? Now all of a sudden, you're adopting 3 3/4 back. Why? Because there's several indie campaigns that built up community, built up awareness, and built up hype. And now Hasbro's like, oh, wait a minute. We got to stop. We got to jump in. We got to do that. That's where the community takes the point at. Your second question. What was that again, brother?
Yeah, like how are, and I think you started to lead into it just subconsciously, but basically I'm just curious on your thoughts on how like boutique and indie brands are reshaping the collector landscape.
Well, again, one thing is I think they're running newer ideas. Look, when we've done this same thing, you were just talking about that a minute ago. Like, a lot of things that we do under the back, somehow because we worked in corporate worlds or like in Hollywood or things like that, you have this, that there's only one way to do things. That mindset creeps in, and whether it comes to like, there's certain points where you and I have that eureka moment where we're like, well, wait a minute. No, we can really kind of do what we really want to do. Like, we don't have to follow these set rules and patterns. But
I mean, you look at the end of the day, like, funny story about that. Like, you call me out on that shit all the time because of just like the level of shit that I've done for corporate. And I'll be like, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know what it is. You're like, man, like, this is our shit, dude. Like, just do it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then once you like release my brain from those handcuffs, I'm like, oh, and then I just go crazy and it works out. But it's funny because I think I think, to be fair, I think I'm the one that gets caught up in that shit a lot more than you do.
Yeah, but I can too. Hey, look, working for Paramount or Netflix or whoever, you kind of get adapted into this one mindset, and you have to pull yourself out of it. I think that's the thing that the independent market is kind of doing, is that, we look at, again, I'm going to mention this all day long. I think their packaging is really kicking the butt out of stuff that, because when you think about a He-Man, it's a blister pack, is that, or maybe it's a box. I've seen that. You go to G.I. Joe, it was a retro card back, or it's a box. You go to the same thing. But when you're looking at the independent market, it could be any type of situation it could be. They could give you look at Operation Monster Force when they're over there. They've got a graveyard headstone as a stand.
It's so good.
It's like just out of the blue. More accessories, more weapons, things that we're seeing. We're seeing smoke trails from the weapons and everything. We're seeing flashpoints and all kind of different effects that they can, because you've got to give more. Again, my figure of the year for 2024 was Operation Monster Force's Kilowog. And this figure is huge. He rivals anything that you see at Marvel or Mattel. But now, this year they've got another wave that came in. Agent Griffin came in. Clear, transparent hands and the head and different accessories and a whole multitude of weapons. And the box is completely different. It's kind of like similar to NECA, yet it has its own, because it has the comic book origin story of the character on the inside cover. And it's not Velcroed, it's magnetic when it comes to connections. So these are the innovations and things that they're able to do that is leading the bigger company to have those. Because look, we're NECA monster fans of their toy line. The one thing that pisses me off is that absolute Velcro, because no matter what you do, every time you pull it, it's ripping from the box a little. The magnet, I was like, you guys solved this. Why, NECA is just like, well, what is it? Cheaper option just to glue that on and put it through?
Answer, yes.
Yes, probably so. But, they're all getting manufactured in the same place. Spending extra time. So that's what I kind of think the community is doing. And also the creators itself are moving in a way that's completely different than what we're seeing.
I think where the shift and the push to reshape the industry, I think there's going to be a company that comes along that's a collaboration of people that are just over it.
Yeah.
And I think that company is ultimately going to become the Apple of the industry.
Yeah.
Whether it's through manufacturing, design, ecosystems, like there's one thing I like that I think is interesting. If you've never looked it up, and maybe we could do something on this before, something that I think everyone should look at is Disney's Flywheel. Have you ever seen this? And Disney's Flywheel is basically like in 1960 or like early 60s, and then they revamped it for 70s and then 80s, whatever. But a flywheel is basically like your core product, and then how do all the products you release feed back into that core product to give it the revenue, right? And so it's called a flywheel. And then Disney's used to be like one page, right? And then the next year was like a little bit bigger, right? Then when they released Disney World, it was like, and my point to this is that like the toy industry has been dominated, right? And I think if you go back in the day, Kenner was reshaping the toy world.
Yep.
Tyco was reshaping the toy world. Tonka at one point was reshaping the toy world.
Yeah.
And then you just had people that had money that acquired all of this stuff, right? Even go back to Mattel. Mattel was started by like a couple, right? Like, and they went in and started, and the wife started Barbie, and then later on, then he comes in and he starts, and it's like, so you had all these things, and you look at those flywheels, and it's like, okay, like they're doing all this other thing back. Well, what indie toy companies do, we saw this with Carlos, is like, how can I take my brand but get other brands to feed in, right, to make sense? And it's like we talked about this with Vonner on Wednesday when we were with him. It's like Vonner said something very important that I think the indie, the boutique toys are doing, and that is a kid just wants to grab stuff and have an imagination time.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you think about that, it's like, well, you know, McFarlane figures, DC Multiverse, those are 7 inches and the peg holes are this big. And then, you know, Mattel's are 5.5 and they're this big. And you got all these different things. So like a kid can't just go like, here's a Batman figure, Spider-Man figure, swap the heads. This is what my imagination wants, because it doesn't work. And I think what the independent toy community does very well is they keep imagination in mind, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you even said Kilowog was your figure of the year, but it was trash packaging.
Oh, yeah. It was some of the worst packaging. And guess what? The next year, there was an improvement. Next set of packaging.
And that's, and right there is the exact thing of why I think they're reshaping the community. It's like they hear it, they understand it, they know it. There's even a reason for it. There's no excuses. There's acknowledgement, ownership, and then they tell you why, and then they make the change, and it's done. And I think that whoever this is, whatever this conglomerate, this group is, I think they're going to come in and they're going to upset it, and it's going to piss people off. Because
I think you're right on that, because the same thing is like I had the opportunity when we went to several shows, and Bill Murray, Fresh Monkey Fiction, the head of Fresh Monkey, you know, had a chance to have a relationship with him and just talk to him at different shows. And I told him, man, I love Kilowog. I hated that packaging. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, you know, there's certain things I felt cheaped out on, you know. And he was like, yep. Took it all in. Wasn't some angry individual. He wasn't like, I'm never gonna, you know, go and do this and everything. He took it right in because they want that feedback. How can I make my product better and make you want to buy more of my product? The difference between it, and we'll roll this down, and this is one of my favorite sayings is, you know, there's Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. And, you know, he always uses that part about why Jurassic Park is dangerous, because he didn't take the time to learn the technology. They took the fast road to do it. And that's exactly when the Hasbro is purchasing the Kenners, and then they purchase you got Mattel's doing the Tychos, and they're gobbling up all these things. It wasn't like they learned how to do it. They acquired it, and it got easy to them. And because he had these legacy brands, they were able to slack off on them. And look at this situation. You've got Lowell Subjects is doing the mask, right? Yet, how many years dormant did Hasbro let that sit? Now, if you're an independent creator, could you have allowed that property to have sat that long?
No, not even, no way.
You wouldn't have. You would have revamped it. Kenner was making Star Wars toys when there weren't even Star Wars movies.
Yeah, they were making Star Wars toys that they were selling out of boxes that were like a promissory note for kids on Christmas.
Yes, they were doing things that were hitting the pulse of what people wanted, and they were like, we're going to give. They were running, and everybody else wanted to do. At that point, they were doing like, let's say doll figures, let's say doll size. They were like, you know what? Let's do something where vehicles and the characters can fit in this size. They revolutionized. Hasbro did not revolutionize the industry. Let's get this lie out of the point. Hasbro did not do that. Kenner did that. And then Hasbro followed suit because it was proven successful. They didn't take the time. They didn't acquire the knowledge. They just stole it and did it. Thank you, Dr. Ian Malcolm, for those words of wisdom. Now, on the difference of it is, Mattel's running into the problem where Mattel did create the designs. They did have innovation. And for some strange reason, innovation is not coming out of Mattel now. I will give them credit on one aspect. I think they're doing a great job with some of the Hot Wheels. But Hot Wheels are very easy. Just make different looking cars and make them cool. But it's not like, the wheels have changed or any other major.
Well, but that example you're giving though, is they're doing a really good job with that. But then they bought Matchbox and
Matchbox is just talk. And Matchbox would have actually benefited but guess what? They gobbled that up. But if you had another company, they would have. Now, see, this is where they're running into problems from Jada Toys. Because that Pink Slip series, come on now, it's on their tail. It's on their tail because they're doing things, they're giving you aspects and situations that are competing with you now. And they haven't had competition because they bought the competition. Yeah. But But also innovation's rarely not. Look, I don't care what they do to He-Man. He's still the same character, and he just hasn't evolved. He's just the same. With at least when you're looking at like G.I. Joe, characters can evolve because the military and time and situations kind of change and everything. So, and then also, they're ramping up. Their biggest payday for 2026 is when that movie drops. That's all that Mattel they care about. Hopefully we can sling a lot more Motu figures out the door. But what are you doing to innovate Motu figures? I understand they have the Masterverse line, but the basic He-Man figure is still the basic He-Man figure from the 1980s.
It is.
So, that's where I'm saying is that, these other guys, they're willing to do the innovation that needs to happen. They're willing to put themselves on the line. They're putting their fortunes, putting their time, they're putting their creative energy. You and I can talk of this, and out there, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are in the process of being entrepreneurs and doing this. It expends a ton of energy when you have to motivate yourself by yourself. Working for Hasbro, working for Mattel is not easy. I know at one point we'd love to have Bobby on the show or something and have a conversation, because it's hard when you're out there and you're driving and you got to get to a toy show and you set up and you got to check in your hotel room. It's not some nice flight you come off and everything's been done, and all you got to do is come to the floor and make sure that the guys in the back and everything set up the booth and everything right. You're the guy setting up the booth for whatever guys that you can get, and then it's off to another show. It's the mental thing of dealing with the factories and everything, and thank God we've got a Vonner on our side that does that kind of stuff. But there are all these complexities, paint masters, joints that break, improving artwork and card backs, and it is taking a crap load of energy to do it like that. And you got, when you see the Hasbro HasLab that we just saw back for the Star Wars gunship and everything, right? And they dropped the ball on advertising, and there are literally hundreds of people that work for this outfit.
Yeah.
And yet you look at these small guys who are doing their own social media, who are going to shows, who are shaking hands, who are answering DMs, who are doing, and they are doing their job of 100 people by themselves. It's not easy to be an independent creator, so you've got to have love doing it. That's the thing that propels them. They love to put the toys out. They love to get that energy. They love speaking to fans. They love that feedback. They love that thing when you purchase their figures and you tell them that these are superior to the big boys that's been doing things for 60, 70 years now. And that's where the industry is changing. That's why I champion these guys, because you and I both know it is not. Look, we've driven 2,800 miles across country and 2,800 miles back. We've done it, and we did it in record time too. And
we did, yeah.
There's a point where this is being done. There's none of the cushy gives. Even if you look at Four Horsemen, right? It's probably a little easier in certain things, but I bet you it's a lot harder on a bunch of other stuff too, man. Think about it. Last year, or they put out, well, actually a little bit of into last year, into this year a little bit. They put out their massive dragon. You don't mean to tell me that they didn't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and at one point somebody was sitting on the side of their bed like, what the hell are we doing? Do we have the funds if this doesn't go through? Did we just destroy a whole year or something? And then that was right when the whole bombardment of tariffs started and everything else like that. I know there were sleepless nights. You think anybody from Hasbro stand up in the middle of the night?
No.
Yeah, no. I think they sleep like babies, because they're employees. They're not entrepreneurs. That's the difference, Chet. That's what changes a lot of things, your mindset, how you need to go, how you push, how you move, man. I applaud these guys. Keep doing the things you're doing because you're exciting the crap out of us as well, brother.
Yeah. I think they're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, yeah. Literally. And like one of our friends said, in some of them in the Lord's scale.
Yeah.
So like I said, man, just to name off the top of a few, man, what were some of your surprises in the indie industry? Certain kind of things when you're at shows and you saw like, wow, that just that hit me in the mouth, and like, wow, I was shocked to see it.
That's just like out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, anything that surprised the hell out of you this year, because we're wrapping close to the end of the year, man. We're hitting at the end, last parts of October and everything else like that. So, like on the indie circuit, what did you see that surprised you? Thought, wow, like they're really taking this up a notch.
I think Four Horsemen's been killing it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not something that I collect a lot of. I do figure obscura, but I think they've been killing it. I think one of the things I was really, really impressed with was Robo Skull.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. When you see that in person, that blows you.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that the one that I have on quote unquote hold, I can pick up sooner than later. I don't know, man. There's been a lot, dude. The ATL figure from Atlanta is.
I was just going to mention that.
That's probably my indie toy of the year. To be completely honest,
you know why I think that toy makes it to that level, and I'll just give you this, because that was spare over parts they put together, and it created something. So, like when we use the term kit bash and customization, that is the ultimate customization into a functioning figure, and I'm hoping they continue, because I want to see ATL 2026, and I want to see what those characters look like, because that to me, man, was the 100% like surprise. The second one that I'll give you that really kind of like shocked me was how well put Delta 17 was.
So good.
I think they captured the retro feel, yet those characters looked and if you look out there, if you're not like, if you haven't seen ATL 25, go to fourhorsemen.com, check that out. If you haven't seen Delta 17, go ahead and check that out. Grindhouse Toys, even the Kickstarter of our good friend Carlos. Make sure you write Rise in Nexus, because it will be back. It's not the failure. It's just being rebooted to something else that is going to work itself out. I'm thinking that those were the things. And yeah, Robo Skull really surprised me, because one thing that we didn't pay enough attention to, and I'm willing to say that every now and then we don't, is that when remember Rat sends over the photo of the 6-inch Robo Skull, I was like, well, wait a minute. I don't remember seeing this, and that was part of the campaign. I was like, boy, we just glanced over that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So, it's
also too, one of the things on the Robo Skull is you can pull the seat out and put the 6-inch figure in.
You can change it from the 3 3/4 to a 6-inch vehicle. That is highly ingenious. That's the kind of thinking that you don't get to see too often, man. Again, this is what I enjoy. This is why I think that the subject matter meant something, because look, man, our dollars are getting tight. People don't have it always to spend and everything else like that. And sometimes buying these independent options are a tad bit more than your standard mainstream, but yet the quality and the care and just the overall performance of what this is and how it sits on your shelf. And there's so many hours of thought, time, and preparation put into this. Not to say that Hasbro Mattel doesn't, but again, you've got an army of people doing it there. You have a small, independent group and everything, a la the A-Team, that is knocking that out. And we'd be revised to say also too that Ace isn't killing it over at Ramen Toys. If there's there's a lot of guys out here doing it on answering every, we were cracking up in San Diego when Ace answers almost damn near all the emails that he's taking in.
Yeah, I mean, we went to dinner and he's answering emails there. It's like, dude, if you ever need help, man, we'll just give you a day off. We'll answer them for you.
Yeah, but that's the dedication. There are no days off. There's another event that you're going to. You're always pre-planning. You're always pre-doing it. And look, that if there's anything in the industry I'm pulling for, is more innovation, more creation, and 100% more independence.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. It's crazy, and I think that we're only in the first part of the wave, so
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be good. Plus, you have all these indie shows coming up. That's going to be good. So
Great indie shows, man. If you want to go see the best, you want to have the best time at indie shows. Look, San Diego's great. San Diego Comic Con's great. New York Comic Con's great. LA Comic Con need a little work.
not so much.
Need a little work.
Let's be honest, not really.
Yeah. But Joe Fest, of course, Joe Atlanta, Toy Atlanta, Legion's Con. You want to have a good time, and you want to enjoy people that enjoy. It's not like it's clout chasing or anything else. And not go to the smaller independent shows. There's the Titan Toy Expo that's going over this weekend. That's fantastic. Gonna have some great people with passion that want to have their feedback and your feedback, and you can remember type of situation. Look, when we was at Toy Atlanta, we saw $6 million man, brother. $6 million man that brought me back to my childhood. Is that what it's about? Having a good time?
I mean, that's literally all that it's about. Do you have any idea that one of our sponsors of this show is actually turning out to be one of my favorite places to go look at and shop at? You know what that is?
Oh, I absolutely know what it is. But you know what? The thing that always gets me is, like, have you ever noticed how every toy you want is either sold out, marked up, or stuck in someone's pre-order limbo?
Yeah, it's like toy collecting turned into a full-time job, but you have no benefits.
But that's why we built HolyGrailToys.com for collectors who are tired of the hunt without the payoff.
We feature independent toy makers, rare finds, exclusives, the kind of stuff you can't just scroll through the same 3 stores.
And the best part, it's built by collectors, not by corporate bots.
So instead of feeding the machine, you're fueling the makers who actually care.
HolyGrailToys.com, because collecting ain't for the weak.
And neither are the collectors who shop there.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Well, I know there's a lot of people that ask what's coming up,
They do.
where they can find us,
They do. Mm-hmm.
things like that. This weekend, actually, the date is the 23rd of October.
Uh-huh.
This weekend is jam-packed for us.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it too, bro. I am looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun.
And to kick it off and everything, if you're in Santa Clarita, then the SCV Marketplace is going to be open, and that's going to be a soft opening that they're doing on Friday, but they will be open on Saturday and Sunday. Imagine, if you've ever been out here to Southern California, I know you've heard us talk about it, or you've seen it on the YouTube page at Frankensons. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not the size of Frankensons, but the idea is the same way, where you can go get collectibles and situations. So that's out in Santa Clarita, and that's happening. Soft opening is going to be on Friday. So if you're, off work or something, or just playing hooky or whatever you do, we're not judging, head over there. And
or maybe we are, who knows?
Yeah, get to see that. But Saturday, bro, that's the main event. And that's oh my God, the Camarillo Premium Outlet. And I can't tell you, this is in Southern California. And if you know anything about this, and if you watched any of the videos here on the Shadow Nose Network, then you've seen Mr. Maddox take a trip up to the Great North and stepped into Toys R Us. But we don't have to go that far north to see a Toys R Us, because a ribbon cutting at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time here in Southern California, they are opening up a 14,000 square foot Toys R Us, and it's massive. And if you're there, all day, they're going to have great things like, they're going to face painting balloons outside for kids. They're going to have some swag bags for 25 people that get there. A lot of great things. We're going to tape it. So for you that's not able to come out here in Southern California, don't worry. We got you covered. You'll actually be able to see that on the Shadow Nose Network. And it's not the only one up there. I've heard they're putting one up in the Bay Area as well, my friend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then,
Yeah.
you know, if you're sitting around and you're like, what is there anything to do in Tennessee? Do I have any kind of thing that I can do? Well, you know what you can do? You go
What's
to
that?
Titan Toy Expo,
Oh,
which gonna have our buddies and everything. And I'm telling you, one of the greatest human beings on the face of the planet and everything. Marcelo from Uru Toys is gonna be presenting. Our buddies Odd Frog will be there as well. And guess what? Too, Ryzen Nexus is going to be out there as well, and everything, along with Valaverse, and I saw Spiro Toys, and I saw a lot of great other vendors out there. And those, again, are the shows that we're telling people to participate to. Head there, have a good time. Our good friend, and actually, you know, the matriarch that makes everything happen, David Vonner, will be walking around. And let me tell you something. If you've ever seen David Vonner at a convention, you want to definitely witness this. It's something like you have to take it in for yourself. You can't just, you know, just see it on film and everything. This man, we were at LA Comic-Con, and I don't know how he did this, but he found a pull-up bar in the middle of a convention to do pull-ups. I don't know how you find that at a comic book convention, but he did. And he was out there like doing some chin-ups and like knocking it out. So chances are you're going to see that somewhere down there in the Titan Toy Expo, which is, I've heard, one of the fantastic shows. I almost wish we could go out there ourselves, brother. But, you know, we got Toys
that
R
would
Us.
mean that would mean I would have to miss Toys R Us opening.
I know.
I'm sorry, that's not happening.
I know. Yeah, and guess what? You know, again, many great things that's happening. So, you know, that's what's going on the weekend. And, you know, hey, all great music here on Bandito Radio 112 FM. And don't forget also Full Frontal Purple with our buddies, the Purple Gang. They are always knocking out the box and having a good time while they're doing it. Man, it's like, you know, it's like you jump from YouTube, you come over here to Bandito Radio, and you can have a good time. You can jump back to YouTube and go to the Purple Gang site or SKN. And there's so much great stuff that's happening, man. It's like a great incubator system, don't you think, Chet?
Yeah, I mean, it's the force to be reckoned with, man. I mean, the small and mighty are prevailing, let's put it that way. And I think you end up having I have a lot of fun, and I'm not even in, you know, we're only in like one of the shows, and like I sit and I watch it, and look, it's good. I enjoy it. You come back on Bandito Radio. There's a lot of independent stuff happening over here.
Great stuff.
Like you said, Wednesdays are jam-packed on YouTube. We go live at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, and then it's followed by Sarlacc, but then we have Toy Mercs in front of us, and so there's a like
5:30 p.m.
You get 3 hours of entertainment there,
or more,
if you
tendency to go over.
Yeah, and then Fridays, you know, we like to give everyone somewhere to hang out on Fridays.
Absolutely.
So we have Pixel Plastic Inc. starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, or 10 p.m. Eastern, and man, a lot of good stuff. And then look, like we said, we've been busy, so there's going to be even more announcements coming. Crazy things happening. And thank you to all of our partners. You know,
absolutely. Also, one of the main reasons to be a channel member over here, because that is growing over at the syndicate. We thank everybody here, and we're glad they were able to present this to you. But guess what? There's going to be a members only giveaway. Purple Gang does that. We're going to do that. Members only giveaway over here and getting people involved. Also, our boys over at Sorlike do that. And we know that the guys over at Turnmark. So guess what, man? It's the shows that give back to you. It's the shows you want to support.
That's right. Good show, man.
Absolutely, man. Had some fun and everything. It's been a while, a little rusty and everything else like that. But, you know, hey, we'll get this in. It'll be like riding the bike again.
That's right, like a very wobbly bike.
Very wobbly bike that needs a whole lot of ratchets and needs a whole lot of screws and everything, but we get it done.
Just real wobbly, but really good, but real wobbly. Hey, man, look, it's been fun. I enjoyed it. We appreciate everyone. If you don't like, subscribe and follow us over there on the Shadow Nose Network on YouTube. And to all of our members over there, we appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been Action Figure Frequencies, episode number 26, October the 23rd, 2025. I am your lovely, gorgeous host, Chet Maddox, along with the ever stunning, the always beautiful, the never stopping Alexander Thunderous Storm. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your night and day and morning and whatever you're listening to this. Until next time, keep chasing that plastic dragon. This is Bandito 112 FM.
Thank you for listening to Action Figure Frequencies with Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm. Bandito Radio presents Action Figure Frequencies with your hosts, Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm.
And welcome in, everybody. It is another week down, another week done. This is episode 27. Gatekeepers, tryhards, and know-it-alls. Oh my, that's right. We are talking about some gatekeeping that's been happening in the toy collecting community. And you know what it is, but hopefully by the end of this, we will define what gatekeeping is, actually. However, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce us. I am Chet Maddox, your lovely, gorgeous host, along with Alexander Thunderous Storm. How are you doing, fine fellow?
Man, doing good, man. Hello to everybody out there. And Bandito Radio 112 FM, all of the SKN, all the members of the syndicate. Hey, man. You guys are getting this, and nobody else is getting it exclusively on Bandito Radio and for our syndicate members. That's the reason why you want to join.
And you get to see that we are really just not always as cool as we normally are.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
you get
most
the raw
of the time
behind
we're pretty
the
rad, but this is like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
Because like
get that.
no glasses. Sometimes you mess up and you get to see it. It's fun. Hey, look, but a prime example, kind of what we're getting into today is like if someone has like a sculptor they like and they don't want to give it to you because they want to keep it for themselves. But with that being said, we got a lot to get into, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
That's a how.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know what it is too? It's like you heard that wolf getting hungry. Well, guess what? Our sponsors are getting hungry too, and everything.
Yum.
You got to ask yourself: has ever even noticed how toy news always hits after it's already sold out?
Yeah, it's like by the time you find out, the scalpers have already eaten lunch and taken desserts.
That's why plasticnews.com is where the collector goes to stay ahead, not to play catch up.
Exactly. It's real coverage, real-time drops, no clickbait, just the good stuff.
So you can spend less doom scrolling and more time actually collecting.
Because at plasticnews.com, we put the IQ in new.
Book it, follow it, live it.
Plasticnews.com, the pulse of pop culture, straight from collectors who get it.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Well, this is going to be a very long one. Well, not long in terms of like whatever, but because this is such an intense topic, today's show mostly consists of hot points. And so let's get into it. This is the knowledge of hoarders.
Hot points, hot points, hot points, hot points.
Hot points.
So, kind of like a two-part question for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's like a one-part question, but it's something that's like, I guess we could start with like indie lines. Okay, let's start there. What do you think? Well, first of all, I guess like it is kind of two-part. Like, what is your idea of gatekeeping? But more specifically, what does that gatekeeping look like in toy production and indie lines?
Okay, well, as you well know, I'm, some parts of the strata system. I am an actual screenwriter in Hollywood, so I know all about gatekeeping. It is a thing that is talked about the most by the guys on the bottom of the pyramid. I can tell you that. But the toy one, look, we ran into this a little bit. We're in the world of toy making, and you find out like when it's certain information is not shared, it's like there's a certain group of individuals that are trying to hold the knowledge themselves, and I've in the in Hollywood it sucks. I think it's in toy making it sucks. One, if you're a sculptor and the employer that's working for you is trying to keep you locked down, but he's not compensating you for that lockdown. But he doesn't want you to work on anyone else's projects. Well, let's be honest. This is a level of capitalism. You're supposed to be out there working and doing the best you can to make these strives. So if you're not getting the opportunities because somebody is keeping you in there, well, that's a form of gatekeeping. It's a form of gatekeeping when, the information is something that, you can freely give out to somebody, but, you're unwilling to do that, because you're maybe worried about the excess competition. That's a form of gatekeeping. I think we've seen this happen. We've been at some events and, look, I will say this, as of late, by people that we've aligned ourselves with, we've started to see it. And, it's a shame. And the same thing, too, on YouTube. There is a gang of gatekeeping on YouTube between fellow creators and everything. We've never been that. We've always been the type that, hey, we'll shout out other channels. We actively tell people we watch other people's channels. So, but I think that there's a level of people that are just worried about holding on to their place instead of just working on material, working on the product. We've had some things where we came out with a line and then somebody else had a similar idea, and we've seen some of the promotional material that looked exactly like crap we were doing and have done. So I don't get it. We're usually an open book. I wish the industry was like that a little bit more. We know some guys of some high-ranking toy companies that have their own manufacturer. They keep that well guarded because they're scared that if you come in and you're going to take a place and a product will be pushed to the back and everything. And that's not necessarily true, because if you worked with an actual, manufacturer and you've had a long existing relationship, chances are the new guy, he's going to push to the back.
Yeah, I think, look, the pure definition of gatekeeping is just controlling access to something. Insert whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
But and that's a perfect example. So we have talked to somebody before about helping with sculpts.
Mm-hmm.
And we were literally told by them, well, I would have to talk to the rest of the team because the people we use for sculpting or the people we use for prototyping, they have a really tight really tight timelines, and they don't necessarily like their projects getting pushed back or insert whatever bullshit thing they came up with. And it's like, that just doesn't sit well, because it's like, look, if you're really good, right? If they've done a lot of work with you, they've made money, you've made money, you keep coming back, consistency, you could have a contract where it's like, hey, if I refer people to you, I just always want to make sure that if it's someone I refer, my line always has priority over theirs. Because you can't really do that if someone else gets that same person. And there are working contracts like that. They do exist, right? So this idea of and look, there's a few indie toy brands right now that scream nothing more than the topics we said we're going to cover today. Absolutely. Gatekeepers, tryhards, know-it-alls, and it's toxic as fuck. So I think a lot of this is what you'll find, and what I love about the group that we're in is that if you gatekeep or you're any one of these three categories, you don't have a long lifespan.
It's never worked out well for them.
What happens is, and I know this personally, being from the crazy corporate world, and the shit and companies I've worked for, there's always a downfall to that.
Always.
I can tell you with 1,000% certainty that it may not be instantaneous, it may not be within the next year or two, but that there's a downfall for people to gatekeep, because what happens is, when these other companies you're working with, whether it's overseas, it's local, it's with a group or something, when they find out that there's they've missed out on money because you're not supplying the information or keeping it to yourself, like you've said many times, man, money's green. So
yep, always.
I think this idea that we see of gatekeeping, I feel is just it's getting old fast, man.
Well, here's the thing. One, if you've got a sculptor and he's picking up on the line, like, hey, as long as you put me as a priority, are you making him a priority?
Right.
Right now it's like, let's just say tomorrow I work for Microsoft. And then out of nowhere, Apple says, hey man, how do you like it over there? Microsoft's all right. They're giving me about 115. He was like, how about we do 390? How good is that loyalty then? Loyalty is only about as much as you, because in the vice versa range, if you get another sculptor that you feel is far superior than the guy that you have working for you, what are you going to tell him? Hey man, I'm gonna be loyal to that guy that brought up the line. Like, hey man, we got to make some moves, man. I might not have as much work for you. So it goes back and forth. You're going to be used and he's going to use you. It's just going to be that. So you got to make sure, one, what kind of company that you are. Are you the type of person that's making sure that you're paying everyone that works around you and they feel 100% appreciated? If you can do that, you're good. If you can't, they got a problem. So gatekeeping has its places in one or the other. But, as long as, like, if you're just trying to make sure a guy doesn't work and he's like, come on, how many lines of toys? Like, ask yourself, some of these smaller lines that we got, right? They do one wave a year almost.
Yeah.
It's not like they're doing like Hasbro, you've got multiple 10 or 15 different waves. So how much is that sculptor really working for you? He's not working that much. So he needs to work on another line of things. And if you talk about, I need to have my things as a priority, pay him like a priority. It's very easy.
Yeah. Or, just keep pumping them out. And I think that's that causes, I think there's such a bigger effect to gatekeeping on the secrecy on the community. I think that there's a bit, because, like, look, if you're gonna put out like a brand new action figure, right? And we'll just talk to that specifically. You want it to be the best you can afford, right? And some people probably can't afford the sculptor you're using or the factory you're using or whatever. So they can really only afford to do what they can do best, right?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that want to just start an action figure line that can afford to use a sculptor in a production facility for, let's say, like Mezco, right? But I've had conversations with Mezco and they've been upfront. They've said, like, this is where we use, this is what we've done, or they've had conversations about here's how we did it in the past. So there's very little gatekeeping. But then you have smaller ones who's like, yeah, you made these really good toys. It's like, oh, well, I don't know if I can give you that. And, like, they're just really busy. And it's like my process and my thought process is, I could give you the best sculptor in the fucking world. I could give you the best factory in the fucking world. If you have a trash product or you don't know what you're doing, it's going to come out like trash. So I think gatekeeping is this, like, mental security blanket that realistically is something that's more of a them problem than anything else. And I think that they eventually end up working themselves out of that industry.
Well, I can tell you that one thing, and you know me, I've said this to you several times, and it always pisses me off, the excuse of, hey man, I'm really busy. Okay, this is where we got a problem from.
Yeah.
Because again, in the industry that I work in, now if Steven Spielberg tells me, hey man, I'm really busy, get back to me a week or two or something, I'm good with that.
Right.
Peter Berg tells me he's busy. Haven't done a movie in 5 years, brother. You're not that busy. You always get on the phone and pick up the phone.
Are you sure you're busy?
Yeah. So these guys that they use the excuse, oh well, he's really busy or something like that. Money talks, bro. Money talks. There's not enough busyness to stop you from making extra zeros. I can tell you that right now. I could call Jeff Bezos right now and I told him, if I got another $100 million for him, he's dropping that check off on the boat and he's rolling it to the house. It's not going to take that long. So money is always being made. So I think the crap of it, just be real with it, man. I don't want you using my sculptor. Okay, but is he your sculptor?
Yeah, you have him on payroll?
Yeah, even if you have him on payroll, you and I both know, like, if you're paying him well, right? Maybe I can pay him better. That's what capitalism does. It's like you walk right into the door you walk right of, because again, these companies will turn around and let you go in a second. So you should have the option. So to me, it's more like, are you fostering the place where loyalty works? Where guys looking at you like he'll go like, hey man, I don't want to work with you. I've got a really good relationship over here. I'm willing. That to me is like, okay, that man made that decision. But don't stop an offer from somebody because you're scared to lose that person. Because at that point, you just monopolize this individual's time.
Right.
And that's not cool, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of gatekeeping in the world, right? And I think that the toy industry has some gatekeeping, but you know who doesn't gatekeep on toys where you can buy them?
I know where it's at, man. And they got to ask the question: have you ever noticed how every toy you want is either sold out, marked up, or stuck in someone's pre-order limbo?
Yeah, it's like toy collecting turned into a full-time job, but has no benefits.
That's why we built HolyGrailToys.com for collectors who are tired of the hunt without the payoff.
We feature independent toy makers, rare finds, exclusives, the kind of stuff you can't just get scrolling on the same 3 stores.
And the best part, it's built by collectors, not corporate bots.
So instead of feeding the machine, you're fueling the makers who actually care.
HolyGrailToys.com, because toy collecting ain't for the weak.
And neither are the collectors who shop there.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
You know, one of the other problems, like, and we had our experience with this at Toylanta, and I think we've had it at a few other shows. On the flip side of the gatekeepers, right? And this is the thing. This is like douchebag bingo, right? Gatekeepers try hard and know-it-alls.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so on the flip side of the gatekeeper, you have the try hard and the cloud chasers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The how the look at me culture shows up on social media, like Kickstarters. The line between ambition and attention seeking. How do you think this discourages? And I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Talk about this. I know, but how do you think this discourages the newcomers and creates like elitism?
I think it discourages them a lot, man. You know, look, we, obviously you're listening to us, so we run a YouTube channel and everything else like that. We've never been the type of people that weren't willing to invite somebody in, or somebody that, we never think about smaller channels. We just look at people we want to collaborate with. But that's not the case on a lot of these things. And I'll be honest with you. We were at the Toys R Us opening. Not going to mention names or something, but you know what I'm going to say. We had a YouTuber that showed up, and he did I would say probably
was so bull. It's the most fucking cringe thing you could fucking do.
It is and everything, and it made me have a little less respect for the human being, just on the point. But they kind of walk up to like the manager and say, "Hey, can I absolutely get it in early? I have like a really big YouTube page, and it'd be nice if I got in." I sat there and said, "What?" I was like, "This does not in any way, shape, or form make any sense," because I'm sitting there like with you, and I'm like, did this person really just say that? And let me explain something to you, and let me just, I hate to be an ass, and I love how really, again, behind the scenes the camera's not working, so that always is kind of funny that you guys are getting a raw behind the scenes thing that we do on time. But I've worked in television, I've worked in movies. Now let's say, all right, this person is under 100,000 subs, so we're not going to hit the overall numbering, but we'll say under 50,000 subs, right? If you had 100,000 to 300,000 subs, and you were on network television before the very first commercial break, they cancel you. They would cancel you. That's not enough to move the needle. There's YouTubers out there like Mr. Beast walks in a place, he gets actual network numbers on his YouTube channel. Yep. That's the reason why he's on Prime, and he's doing the I believe he's on the NBA or was it the NFL? They've got him on one of the shows out there where he's kind of, I think it's the Prime's or Netflix. No, they had him on Netflix, the NFL kind of thing. So
right.
But he's a network unto himself. This guy's like literally has millions upon millions of people.
Right.
The tryhards is when you walk up to somebody and you could put the amount of subs this person has in, like, I would say one auditorium. That's not a lot of subs.
Gymnasium.
Yeah, all right, just we could use your name. That's not a lot of subs. That's not a sub. Mr. Beast could fill up a good section of an actual sports arena. And then you're like, okay, that's subs.
And even then, there's like a wait outside to get into
exactly.
that.
Yeah, there's some people not in the VIP section. So that's the tryhards for me. It's also the tryhards where I'll be. We know a couple of guys that thought a YouTube video, right? And we've seen this in the video, and they asked the guy in the back, "Hey, man, will you go in the back and get me these kind of things?" And the guys held a box for him, and it's like a Target or Walmart employee. That's just trying too damn hard, man. Come on, bro. Yeah. Like, you can't wait till the stuff's out on the shelf. Like, like that's how you got to do it. Paying the dude in the back and everything. That's the part where you start killing fandom. People start getting upset with you.
Well, that's the part where you find out someone like me that hears that and goes and tries to find that Target and point it out.
Oh yeah, and then the next one is you're at a local store. We live in Southern California. Not a lot of local. There's we got Ross on top of Ross. We've got no Ollies out here for us, but we've got Burlingtons. We got Walmart, Targets, and everything else. Now, how you do things right in the fandom is like our good friend Mr. Scott Solo. Scott will say what store he's at, whatever he's at. He'll put that in the video. Then you got these other guys like, oh man, there's like 3 of these items right there, and then he doesn't say where the store is. He takes one, or he'll hoard 3 or something. So like, man, you're trying too damn hard, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about it is, it should be willing to give out the information. It's like, what's wrong with that? Helping out somebody else from the fandom.
Well, and I think that's along the lines of like the clout chasing part, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, because you want to be the one that knows where all the good stores are, and you don't want to tell it. But I think why some people act like this, like they're experts, right? Or that they've know more than you or whatever. I think it has to do, like, mostly is gonna probably fall in the bucket of like ego and insecurity, right? I think people's ego jumps in the way, and I think that a lot of people hide behind ego because of insecurities. And it's like, the person you're talking about that goes to like Ross's and like Books A Million and like these other places, I think that's definitely like a ego driven insecurity of like, because like if you look at this person's collection,
it's trash.
It's gonna say
it's the junkiest crap that I've ever seen.
It's like,
and I'm like, look, to each his own. You collect what you want to collect, but I'm like, you could announce what you were picking up and make sure that no one else was hunting down the same stuff you were doing. You are fine. The things that you collect is not in the main ecosystem of what collectors do. Believe me, he has a fringe collecting scenario.
I've watched many videos of this person, and I still have no fucking clue what they collect.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it swing to such a high level. One to the other, but I know the stuff that they collect, and I just thought, like, yeah, man, you could tell everybody in town. You could actually give GPS coordinates to where this is.
No
like,
one's fine. The fuck up.
Yeah, you're fine, man. It's like, it's like, but then also, like, the thing about fandom, and this is, I'll reach this out to the listeners and the syndicate and the, I guess we would say the banditos and the bandites that's out there. Banditas.
Chicas, the banditas.
Make sure that it's about fandom. It's about helping fandom. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Is there's somebody else out there? I'll tell you also one part too, and it's cloud chasing and everything. And this is the thing where I just say, like, we've almost got a point where I'm gonna hit this sound effect right here. Is that in one part or another? It's the guy that goes, and you've seen those videos. It's in Target, and we experienced this at Toys R Us. And it's the Pokemon guy, and he's a spectator. He's not a collector. He's a spectator, and there are literally children waiting in line,
dude,
to pick up a pack. And this guy picks up like 10 of the packs and just walks out the store. And I'm like, number one, you're trying too hard. Number two is that should give you the award of somebody needs to like really like slap the taste out of this guy's mouth because it's just so terrible. We had that too. A lady was at the Toys R Us line. Her son was in there and said, yeah, they don't have, because it was a new opening, they didn't quite have the Pokemon cards. And we just so happened to know a show that was in the same vicinity that we knew was heavy in the Pokemon cards, and we told her. But you know, she was like, yeah, my son waited in line 3 hours one night, and like this guy just comes in and he just buys it out. And I'm like, oh, but come on, man. Like, you know what it is.
I would slap that guy in the face. I would slap the stupid off of him.
It almost makes it just like, man, you're ruining the level of fandom. And also you're speculating on something. Like, you're speculating these cards are going to be worth anything. And that's, you know, I just saw something that was from the one of the heads of Upper Deck. And he was talking about the spectators and how these guys are almost going to kill the baseball card collecting community, because it's speculating. And look, the speculators destroy comics. They destroy comics. And now they're doing the same thing with these, like, you know, whether it's baseball cards, Pokemon cards, whatever situation.
Well, it's like the point. Here's the thing, right? People forget the fucking Pokemon is a card game
for kids.
So it's not only for kids. Like, I love playing it, but the problem
primarily
is,
for children, though.
Right? It's primarily for children. But my point is this: it doesn't matter if it's for kids or adults or what. The problem is these spectators are buying these boxes. They're opening them on breaks and doing all this shit, right? But then if you have somebody that just wants to play the game, they don't have access to any cards to build decks. And then a lot of these spectators, like, I've been watching these things where these guys just go to the dump and throw all the cards away that aren't worth anything. It's like you couldn't take that to like a local gaming store and donate them so kids could make decks out of them.
No.
And that's what they
it's
do.
Mine, man. It's mine. It's not yours.
Yeah, it's mine. I'll throw it away. Like, right? It's this. It's just this insider posturing bullshit that's ruining everything. Whether it's card games, board games, action figures, like blind box stuff. It's huge in the blind box world too. People buy a lot of that shit, and then they're like, I don't know what to do with these, so they throw them away.
I'll tell you that too. Not only do we collect action figures, every now and then we'll pick up a comic book. And the blind bag scenario, we were rolling through the brand new volume number 4, Batman #1, where there were people out there opening up, shops were opening up the blind bags, finding out which one was the more valuable book, and then putting like the less valuable book back in the blind bag and putting it on the shelf.
It. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my, come on, man. Like, we've gotten to the level where it's like we're losing the part of our humanity in collecting, where it's like there's a have and have. Now we live in, again, a capitalistic society. We're seeing the rich. How much money do you really need? We're seeing all these other excesses get down with you, but you're like, collecting was something that is for, like, look, man, you've had a hard day at work or a hard month or whatever, and you just want something to bring you an extra joy. Some people go to the movies. Some people like to actually go hiking. Whatever it is, you should have access to it. There shouldn't be like a part and you go to this campground and, oh no, this is the really rich campground. You can't actually camp in this nice section by the lake. That's why we have BLT land. It's for, it don't matter how rich you are, it's supposed to be for everyone. Well, the same thing in collecting is that there's a level where, when did it get to the point? Because chances are you're not making that kind of money online for most of these cards and things like that. You're probably doing all right, but I've never seen anybody pull up in a Maserati and go Pokemon.
The break community, they're making a lot of money.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they're making like ass loads of money, but it takes a lot of money to get into it. But they are making 6 figures easy.
But how many people? How many times you seen the Maserati pull up at Target?
Yeah, no, I don't think that. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that happens.
Now there are levels where yes, it goes to hey, my yacht's bigger than your yacht, but we both got yachts, so there's a difference.
That's true.
But
that's because you bought a bigger one the last time you went out to get one.
But the difference of it is when you like the Target and the Walmarts and things and this kind of things, like, we're all on the same level here, man. We're all on the same level. Like, start acting like that, man. It's like how many times we've seen somebody hide something underneath a shelf or some other thing. It's like, come on, man. It's gotten just an epidemic of this stuff that just shows our pure greed and selfishness now in the community.
Yeah. Well, and I think you need a lot of energy for that, right? I think if you're really looking to keep up with it, especially in the action figure world, right?
Yeah.
I think I think you need the energy. And what I would tell everyone is that, maybe it's time to strap in, Plastic Warriors. Your power up potion is back.
Figure Fuel Energy Drink returns with triple threat of turbocharged flavor.
We're talking new flavors that will become legends. Retro Raspberry Rage, a blast of berry from the back issue bins, and citrus. That's citrus, right? Yeah. Citrus Slam Storm, bold, bright, and ready to body slam your burnout. And Grape Gamma Burst, so intense it practically glows.
Formulated for late night toy hunts, shelf rearranging marathons, and long haul customizing sessions.
Figure Fuel is the drink of choice for collectors who never quit.
Crack one open and feel the articulate energy. Figure Fuel and fuel your passion.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Well, I would be remiss if we didn't hit our last type of person.
Yep.
Probably one of the most annoying, punchable face people you could come across in this whole group of people. The and this is, I'm trying to find the right way to say this. I think like it doesn't really matter on action figure frequencies, but I will say this. They are the Kickstarter, Clout, and Indie Factory game chasers.
Yeah.
Right. Or you could call this you could really call this like the know-it-alls, right? And the know-it-alls are really like the punchable face people, I think. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. There's always a face to punch. No, you know what? It's yeah, I've seen it. Kickstarter's getting a little bit more, there are, look, there's some guys out there do great campaigns, do some really good stuff. They really hit those numbers and everything. And then there's people that, have no clue what they're doing, do a Kickstarter. And I think there's just one other section too. There's the rip-off individuals in our industry too, because that's like the last one too. We probably can talk about. Kickstarter's created a lot of those though.
Yeah.
But first of all, I think Kickstarter one, it's kind of got me. I understand the clout part, but there's a level where when I'm starting to see like people that's signing 6-7 figure deals and they're kickstarting, it frustrates the crap out of me. Because that's not what that platform was made for.
You're talking about like the like equivalent of like Mattel or something.
Yeah, when I start seeing like these bigger companies or bigger creators that could just go out there and fund their own projects, yet they're going to Kickstarter to do it. Now, if you're taking it like pre-orders, I don't have a problem with that. If you're asking somebody to pay you to do your work when you already have enough money to pay yourself, I got a problem with that. Yeah. And, I'm starting to see that a little bit more. The guy's like, oh, man, I know the industry and this is what it is. I put this thing. Wow, why did my Kickstarter fail? Well, I thought you knew the industry. I thought you knew what people wanted. Did you do the market research? Did you actually do something, go to convention, talk to the people out there and understand the product that they wanted?
Oh, no, I know people really want my book. 30 days later, 180 people bought your book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing that cracks me up. It's like, man, when you can't fit things into an auditorium. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, you really, in all kind of ways, gotta, start thinking about the scenario that you're in, because this is not how it works. I'm just, there's a lot of levels on this. I think this needs to be touched too. One is, nothing's wrong with being assured of yourself. I will tell you every day, have some assertion. Do it.
Right.
There's a problem when you have the ego kind of runs out. You're kind of egotistical and you're just an ass to people.
Yeah.
And you've really have done nothing other than you put the campaign up. Now that's where it's like, you should always have a level of being humble, when you're speaking to people, and also there's some creators out here that we've had the pleasure of having on Toy Box Chronicles or Pixel Plastic Inc. And they're just great individuals, and they understand like what's out there, and they really just want to make the community better. And then there's people out here, all they care about is what numbers I got, what's the situation is, and who's buying my stuff. And then they respond to people who are simply asking for updates on their campaign in such a vicious and completely derogatory way of talking to them that you're like, well, what are you doing? Do you appreciate the people that are spending because the people that are hitting on Kickstarter, this is not by any means millionaires and billionaires. These are people that's working hard for their money, and every dime matters. And they took the time to probably pay a little bit more to invest in your campaign. And then when you turn around and you talk to them in a derogatory point for simple questions, and you act like, again, you're the smartest person, and you're your God gift to the whole entire universe. That's where it's like, well, there's a problem with that. There's a problem from the people that, we're starting to see this right now in the industry. You can name this on several high-ranking. I don't even need to tell you who it is, because you can just go out there and search it. But there's a couple of guys who make some toy lines. You talk about, oh, you're going to get this and get that and get this. And then all of a sudden, orders mysteriously start canceling. And then you're left with, well, wait a minute, where did I get my money back and everything? And somebody's
but you can't get a hold of them when you need your money back.
And they ran out. Yeah, emails not existent, phone numbers stop.
You said something that was interesting too. Like, one of the things I'll tell you about that shit that bothers me is when people are asking for updates and you get responses like no news is good news, or we're going to update as soon as we have a big update. And then you get updates about shit that's coming out when the other shit hasn't come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That actually in the board game industry, that tanked a dude that was really popular with board games. And then he released a version of it on Kickstarter. And then within like 3 months of everybody getting their copies from Kickstarter, he released a better, cheaper version at Walmart.
Oh man, that sucks. Yeah.
And everybody just fucking tanked him, and he's never been able to put out another board game since. Yeah, and I think like here's the problem is like how many people are these people like using to get information, to build these connections, and then they turn into like the gatekeeper, or they turn in to like the tryhards, and they know it all because they don't want to tell anybody. But the reality is, look, and this is like a little simple fucking should have learned this in like second grade. If you just have conversations, even though you may think you know everything, and you just have conversations and inform others of what you know, you'll find out that you actually don't know shit, and you'll learn more stuff as you go along. And it helps create a better version of you. But these people that are on Kickstarter, right, and they go and they get everything funded, and they just disappear with no one's money, and they think it's not going to come to bite them in the ass. I mean, we know what's going on currently, so you just go look that shit up, and you'll find out what it is, right? So like, I just hope this shit like changes, like.
Well, I think it has no choice but to change, because I think there's a large cinema of people that are really kind of getting tired of the bad contributors out here. And like, again, we're all part of the industry. We're all collectors. We all want to have things, come to us at ease. We all want to pay the less amount of price that we can pay for something, but we all want to just, in the end of the day, enjoy it. And like, now we've gotten to the point, like, I remember before the collecting community used to head to Toys R Us. I was never worried about somebody. Like, you search for an action figure. I went to Joe. I searched for Joe. Every now and then I found it or something. Or I was at a, dating myself, Thrifty's, convenience store, or Clark's Drugs. And like, you find something there and like, oh, okay, right, cool. KB, Toy Story, Toys R Us, whatever it was. But that's when it was pure. You just hunted down. And then there became the person that just comes and he takes 50 things off the peg. Then there's the person that, basically has got an overpriced book in the cover, and he's like, yeah, but you should kiss my feet because that's what it is. It's like, when did it get to the point where